Hello everyone and welcome to my birth vlog. I have tried to film this a couple of times but I've missed out information and whatever. So today's the day and you guys can hear everything from start to finish. So let's take it back about 5 weeks. 5 weeks ago. Onyx is 4 weeks today. So yeah, 5 weeks ago, Sam and I had an obstetrician appointment. Now in that appointment, obviously they scan you to see where baby's at. And Onyx was nowhere near engaged, and we had asked in that appointment, do you think it's okay for Sam to go back to work? Now it was 36 weeks at this point, and my obstetrician said, yeah mate, go back to work, no worries, the baby's not even engaged. And you know, obviously nobody actually knows like when your baby's going to come at all, but you know, with him not being engaged at all, you would have thought that maybe it would have been at least a couple more weeks. So that was on the Thursday. Sam had left on the Friday to go back to work, and then on the Monday I had a growth scan. Now at that growth scan as well, she said your baby is nowhere near engaged at all. And I thought, damn it, because I just wanted him out. But obviously it was great that he wasn't engaged then because Sam was away. Now, so Sam had gone back to work. My baby, obviously we all thought he wasn't going to be here for another couple of weeks. So I still had time to pack my hospital bag, to finish off what I needed to finish off, to continue to buy clothes, to get my nails, my hair, my brow, like all of those things were all locked in, ready to go. And then on the Wednesday, so I had my growth scan the Monday, and then on the Wednesday I had a massive day. So I went to the office, I cleaned upstairs in my office a little bit. I went to Pack Fair to buy some more stuff in my hospital bag because I did a live the night before, I think, and you guys told me you need to get your hospital bag sorted. And my girlfriend Kira had told me, you need to pack your hospital bag, otherwise I'm going to tell you I told you so when you have your baby. But obviously I didn't listen to anyone. I didn't actually think my baby was going to come that early, but you know, obviously he did. So when I was walking around the shops, you guys would have seen on my Instagram stories, I thought I was like hardcore waddling, and like people were knocking into me, and yeah, it was just, I just felt heavy, and I really thought that that was just like what the end of pregnancy is like. I didn't think anything of it. I got home and I was just sitting around at home. I was like leaking a little bit of urine. I thought I was weeing myself throughout that afternoon, right? And I thought, oh, his head must be in my bladder. You guys know that when I threw up that time I pissed myself and I freaked out. I just thought that's just what happens, right? So I like was emptying the dishwasher, and I leant down and I was cleaning out emptying all the plates and stuff out of there, and I pissed myself again. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm alone, just like thinking, oh, this is just what happens. Then I started to feel a bit of pressure, like not even period cramps, it was less than period cramps, and I just thought, oh, I must just be having Braxton Hicks. Spoke to Sam and he was like, yeah, 100% it's Braxton Hicks, his head's not engaged, like you're not having the baby. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Then my neighbour Mel came over, and she was coming over to look at the puppies because you guys know my dog had puppies and I was still whelping them. And she came over and I said to her, I was like, look Mel, like I feel like sitting on the couch, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling a lot of pressure. And she's like, you've had a big day, just go to bed. I'm like, okay, I probably just need to go and lay down, whatever. So I think around 7 or 8 o'clock, I actually was texting a few friends, and they were like, you need to time whatever's going on. So one of my girlfriends was like, there's no way you're going to labor, no way at all. And then I started timing these like Braxton Hicks, and they were 2 minutes apart. And I sent a screenshot to a few friends, and one of them replied, and she was like, you need to go to hospital now. And I'm like, no. I'd text my obstetrician, and he said give it an hour, and if they haven't settled then call the hospital. I gave it 20 minutes because she was like, you need to go to hospital. I called the hospital and they were like, yep, come in, you're in labour. And in my head I'm like, I'm not in labour. And me and Sam had fully been saying to each other, no, it's just Braxton Hicks, it's not labour. I was like, oh, it's kind of labour. He was like, no, it's Braxton Hicks. It was just, yeah, it was funny. And then I was honestly walking around the house aimlessly for like an hour, trying to pack a bag together, trying to get myself sorted. I just had no idea what was going on. The hospital ended up calling me again, and they said, would you like us to send you an ambulance? And I started crying. I said, I'm home alone, my husband's away. I truly have no idea like what to even do. I didn't really have a plan of like who I would call, who was going to be in the room. Like, it wasn't an option. Like, obviously I thought Sam was going to be here. So I ended up, who did I call? I think I called a couple of friends, and then I called Kate, and she answered, and I just said to her on the phone, hey, you need to come take me to the hospital. Now, I've known Kate my entire life. Like, we're very close family friends, so it was good. She was just around the corner. She picked up her phone super quick. She sped over here in her husband's sports car. When she rocked up, she came in and she was like, okay, so I just need some towels and some garbage bags. I was like, what for? She goes, because you cannot get amniotic fluid out of leather seats. And I was like, babe, it's just wee. Like, it's not amniotic fluid. I'm not in labor. Like, this is, my waters haven't broke. Like, this is nothing. She's like, okay. So she helped me get some things together. It was just, honestly, it was shambles. I was shambles. I just didn't really know what was going on. I thought that I would go up to the hospital, get checked and come home. I was like, it's all good, I'll come home. I quickly put Sheba in with the puppies. I was like, quick, feed Sheba. Hurry up, feed your dogs. And then we're gonna go. So I left the puppies, my dogs, everyone here. Well, everyone, like as in George, Sheba and the puppies. Got in the car. Kate sped, probably got, I don't know, a couple of speeding fines on the way to the hospital. Parked up an emergency. Kate was wearing this beautiful dress, and I thought to myself, oh my god, if I'm in labor, like, what are you gonna do? You're just wearing this like beautiful dress. But she had a pajama shorts underneath. Walked in, had my TENS machine on the whole time, and which was incredible. Now, I actually got that from Shari at my hypnobirthing course. Now, hypnobirthing, I'll leave my discount code in that little comment section down here, because that just, the education behind hypnobirthing was absolutely incredible. The stuff that Sam and I learned about birth, and, you know, worked on all of our fears, which mine was a ring of fire, and just a whole lot of information for your partner. It was just amazing. So got into the car, sped to the hospital, walked in through emergency, and we walked up to the maternity, and my obstetrician was already there. So he must have already been like delivering babies that day. And he said, oh, that bad? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. So went into the room, like got hooked up to the monitor. He checked out, if you guys can hear that in the background, it's all just construction, so sorry, but I just needed to get this done today. So he did a internal check, and he said, all right, so you're 3 centimeters dilated. And in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Meanwhile, I'm on the phone to Sam this whole time on FaceTime, and my midwife Georgia and him said, all right, so you're in active labor now. I'm like, active labor? I was like, it's not even that bad. What do you mean? And I said, okay, cool. Well, we've got 24 hours anyway. You know, like, babies aren't born within a few hours. It's my first baby. Yeah, it's early, but like, you know, I've got 24 hours. And they just looked at me and said, no, your baby will be here by the morning. And I looked at Sam, and honestly, my heart really broke for him. And I just felt so bad that he wasn't going to make it. He did try to like get a car, but it was nighttime, so like fatigue management and that kind of thing with, you know, working where he works is just not an option. If it was during the day, it probably could have been an option, and he may have made it, but yeah, because it was nighttime, it just wasn't even an option to get him here fast enough. So yeah, I just looked at him and I said, babe, it is what it is. Like, we can't be upset. We just have to get on with it, and we just have to do this. Murphy's Law, this stuff happens to us all the time, but it's just, yeah, it really, that just, not so much, not for me, because I don't mind, but for him, my heart just broke for him, because I just felt like, I remember him saying, there is no way that I'm going to miss my son's birth, and just horrible, but it is what it is. So Sam was not there and did not make it. Then I was in active labor. I was just using the TENS machine. I was using the gas. Kate was doing a lot of massages that I had learnt through hypnobirthing. I was really lucky that Georgia, my midwife, who was absolutely incredible, fucking angel, amazing, knew a lot of the techniques as well. So she was able to show Kate what to do throughout that process. I was in and out of the shower. I will share a lot of photos on Instagram now that you guys know the story. But yeah, it was hectic. Kate actually got given a pair of scrubs, because at the point they were like, all right, you're in active labor, this is labor, you're having this baby, who's going to stay here with you? And I was like, well, Kate's already here, so obviously, sorry girl, you have to stay. And she was obviously fine with that. But yes, she got into scrubs so that she can come into the shower and do all of that stuff with me as well, which was just, yeah, amazing. And it's such a really is an intense thing to be in the room with someone like throughout their entire labor. Like, it's pretty hectic. So yeah, definitely glad that she stayed, because I feel like it made a difference just having a familiar face there, that's for sure. And yeah, so I felt like the gas didn't really do much for me. I felt like I could control my own breath really well, so I felt like that helped me a lot more. Did I ask for an epidural? Yeah, hell yeah. Every time, well, like a lot of the times that I had contractions, as soon as I reached the peak of the contraction, I'd say, give me the epidural, and they're like, no, you don't need it, and then it would taper off. And then in the breaks in between contractions, I would be like, no, I don't need it at all. But yeah, so then it got to about, I think about 1 o'clock, and I said, Georgia, can you please just check how dilated I am? She checked me, and I was 8 centimeters. And I asked for more pain relief, so they gave me a pethidine shot, which I felt like just made me really sleepy rather than take any pain away at all, if I'm honest. She was like, okay, so do you want to have a water birth? Like, what do you want to do? So I was like, yeah, okay, like let's do it. So they filled up the bath. I was listening to my birth playlist, which is just a whole lot of Kanye West. Like, I didn't even have a chance to put anything else on there. It was like the entire Donda album, if I'm honest. So we set up my laptop in the bath, put like some candles, oils, all of that stuff in there, and then I got into the bath, and I was in the bath I think from about 2 o'clock until 4:35 when I had him. Sam was on and off FaceTime this whole time. It would be dependent on what was going on. A lot of the time it was just like a lot of silence and me just working through contractions. Nothing was really happening, so he could jump off and obviously not sleep. He didn't sleep that whole time, but yeah, just chill, whatever. And then I think it was about 3 other midwives came into the birthing suite, because a lot of them hadn't, I don't think the hospital, well, just in general, I don't think they get to see a lot of water births that often, so they came in, which is really cool as well. So I had Sam at the end of the bath, which I'll show you guys a video on my Instagram, so make sure you check it out. He was on the end, my obstetrician was next to him, like, and they were just, he was trying to be funny to Sam. And then there was 3 midwives, my midwife, and then Kate behind me, and I would just hold Kate's hand. Now during this time I was holding onto this handle, and I was also like making a lot of noise during my like contractions. And you know when you're gonna push, like they didn't tell me to push, but I was like, I need to push. Your body just knows what to do, and like when to do it. It's freaking, it's so amazing. And I was doing that for a little while, and then one of the midwives said, okay, you need to let go of the handle, you need to put that energy into pushing, you need to stop making noise and put that all down and all into pushing. And as soon as I did that, that is when his head started to come out. So his head came out, and that was all good. My obstetrician came in, and I obviously just kept pushing, and then it got to a point where they say, all right, just one more push, because he would come out and go back in, come out and go back in, because I couldn't just get that last push. It was just so exhausting. And then my obstetrician said, okay, Natalie, you need to do these last pushes and just keep going until he's out. Like, keep going, we'll count down, like, let's just do this. So I did, and he came out. So his head wasn't a problem, it was his shoulders that were a little bit difficult to get out. He came out onto my chest, I cut his cord. I had a first degree tear, so he came out, was on my chest for, I don't know, I have no idea how long, time doesn't exist. I cut his cord and then got up. I think Kate took, or the midwives took Onyx, and I went and lay down on the bed, and then I delivered the placenta, got like cleaned up, got my stitch in, and then they put Onyx back onto my chest. And I think we were there for maybe like in 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, I don't know, 2 hours maybe. But it's so crazy when when I walked out of that bathroom into the room again, it was like sunrise. And I don't know if you guys, I'm sure a lot of you would know, but when you leave a nightclub and it's daylight, that is what it felt like. I was like, holy shit, I've been on a bender and I've just walked out and it's like sunrise, you know. I always say, yeah, walking home at sunrise is tough, but yeah, that's what it felt like. Walking out, I was like, whoa, I just feel like it was just so out of body. And then, yeah, I think I had, what did I eat? I had Kate, or the midwife then got me a toasted sandwich. And I said to Kate, I just want a chocky bar. And she never got it for me because she had to quickly leave the hospital that morning to go and look after her own kids. But that's all I wanted was a chocky bar. So she definitely owes me one of those. But yeah, then I had the toasted sandwich and the lemonade. Got up, had a shower, and then walked back to my room. Sam, he got there I think about 3 o'clock that afternoon, so he had a morning flight, and then he had to come back to our house and pack stuff because I obviously didn't have like hardly anything, so he had to come back, pack all our stuff, and then came up to the hospital. During that day I felt like I couldn't even rest until he got there. He kept saying, just go to sleep. I'm like, babe, I can't sleep. Like, once you get here, then I will definitely go to sleep. I cannot sleep right now. So he got there, they did skin on skin. And yeah, that was that. I was really, really lucky. I had an amazing midwife, amazing team. Like, it was so good that Kate was there as well, because she is very al natural gal. So she also was like, no, you don't need an epidural. She said to me afterwards, she said, you would look at me and be like, just like you were gonna die, and be like, just give me the epidural. And Kate said she felt so bad, but she was like, nah, you've got this. And it was so funny. I remember when I was sitting there getting stitched up, I could hear my midwives talking about another lady in another room who had an induction, and they were giving her the epidural. And I remember hearing it afterwards. I was like, why didn't I get the epidural? And she just said, look, we just, you know, when people are in a lot of pain and do need it, you didn't need it. I was like, I think I did, but anyway. So I'm just checking this child. Yeah, so no epidural. I had a pethidine shot, gas, the TENS machine as my pain relief. Sam didn't make it. He's definitely made up for it now, that's for sure. And I had Kate in the room with me. Spontaneous labour. It was definitely my waters that were breaking after they tested the fluid that was in my undies. And yeah, that's it. I really don't know what else to share with you guys. It was a really wild experience that I wish I could do every single day. I loved labour and birth, and I cannot wait to go through that again. Pregnancy, not so much, but it's crazy. I can't believe after everything that Sam and I have gone through fertility wise that Onyx is here now. It is just, and he's been here for a whole month today. It's still unbelievable to me, really. I know a lot of you have been asking about like baby blues and hormones after the fact. Yes, while I was in hospital, yeah, it's pretty hectic when your hormones are like starting to like, you know, balance out again. I felt like I felt myself probably for the last maybe 2 weeks, but probably 2 weeks after birth, you're a bit all over the shop. You kind of like, I remember we drove home from hospital and I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I just hope that I'll be a good mum. I could probably cry now saying that, to be honest, but yeah, I was just really hoping that I would be a good mum to him and just make sure that we raise like a good human. That's all I want, is just Onyx to be a decent human like his dad, and just probably end up more like his dad than me, if I'm honest. If he's like, yeah, I feel like if he's more like Sam than he is like me, we'll be right, but if he's more like me, we'll be in trouble. But yeah, that's my birth vlog, birth story. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you just do DM me on Instagram. Like I said, I'll leave the details for belly to birth down below. And yeah, honestly, yeah, what an experience.